It was a moonless night, and a chilling breeze swept through the desolate highway as John set out on a long journey. The road stretched endlessly ahead, surrounded by dense, ominous woods that seemed to whisper secrets only the night could comprehend. Little did John know that this journey would transcend the boundaries of the ordinary and plunge him into a realm where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred. As the clock struck midnight, John's headlights carved a path through the darkness. The only sounds were the rhythmic hum of the engine and the occasional rustle of leaves. However, an inexplicable unease settled upon him, a feeling that lingered like a ghostly presence. In the rearview mirror, shadows danced, and John couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Dismissing it as mere fatigue, he turned up the radio to drown out his thoughts. A distant, haunting melody echoed through the speakers, setting an eerie tone for the night. Miles passed, but the surroundings remained unchanged, a monotonous stretch of road bordered by towering trees. Suddenly, the radio emitted a burst of static, and the haunting melody morphed into indiscernible whispers. John's heart raced as he fumbled to turn off the radio, leaving him in an unsettling silence. A dim light flickered in the distance, resembling an old, abandoned mansion. Despite his better judgment, John felt drawn to it, as if an invisible force beckoned him. The mansion loomed in the darkness, its broken windows staring like vacant eyes. With each step towards the mansion, the air grew thicker, and John's breath quickened. The creaking floorboards echoed with each step, and the silence was broken by whispers that seemed to echo through the halls. The walls seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. In a dimly lit room, an antique mirror reflected a distorted version of John's frightened expression. Suddenly, a ghastly figure materialized behind him, a spectral presence with hollow eyes and outstretched hands. John turned, paralyzed with fear, as the figure whispered ancient incantations that reverberated through his very soul. Desperate to escape, John stumbled through the mansion's labyrinthine corridors, each turn leading him deeper into the heart of the supernatural. Unseen forces tugged at his sanity, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred. The mansion seemed to feed on his fears, manifesting grotesque visions that clawed at his psyche. As dawn approached, John emerged from the mansion, his clothes disheveled and his mind forever scarred by the night's events. The once desolate highway now stretched before him, bathed in the soft light of morning. Was it a dream, a hallucination, or had he truly crossed paths with the paranormal? To this day, John can't shake the feeling that the shadows from that fateful night lingered just beyond the edges of his reality, waiting to pull him back into the darkness. The midnight journey had forever changed him, leaving behind a tale of terror that defied the boundaries of the rational world. Days turned into nights, and nights into weeks, yet the echoes of that paranormal encounter continued to haunt John's every waking moment. Sleep became an elusive refuge, as nightmares intertwined with reality, blurring the boundaries of his sanity. One evening, as he tried to drown his memories in the solitude of his apartment, a mysterious letter arrived. The envelope bore no return address, only the image of the same foreboding mansion that had marked the beginning of his descent into the supernatural. Intrigued and apprehensive, John opened the letter to find cryptic symbols and an invitation in an ancient language that seemed to whisper through the ages. It beckoned him to return to the mansion, promising answers to the questions that gnawed at the edges of his consciousness. Haunted by an insatiable curiosity and a gnawing fear that refusing the invitation would only intensify his torment, John found himself once again on the desolate highway. The moon cast an eerie glow, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with malevolent intent. The mansion stood before him, a silent sentinel of the supernatural. As he stepped across the threshold, the air thickened, and the whispers returned, guiding him to the same dimly lit room where the spectral figure had first appeared. In the antique mirror, a reflection distorted by fear stared back at John. The room pulsed with an otherworldly energy as the figure manifested once more. This time, however, it spoke not in incantations but in fragmented memories of a bygone era, revealing a tragic tale of lost souls trapped between worlds. As the story unfolded, John felt a connection to the spirits that lingered in the mansion. Their anguish became his own, and an unspoken bond formed between the living and the dead. The mansion, it seemed, was a bridge between dimensions, a place where the past and present converged. In a moment of clarity, John understood that he held the key to release the trapped spirits from their ethereal prison. With newfound determination, he delved into ancient rituals, guided by the whispers of the spectral figure. Shadows danced around him as he performed the rites, and the mansion quivered with the release of pent-up energy. As the last incantation echoed through the halls, the mansion seemed to exhale a sigh of relief. The spirits, now free, dissipated into the unknown, leaving John alone in the once haunted corridors. The air lightened, and the malevolent energy that had clung to the mansion lifted like a shroud. With a heavy heart and a sense of closure, John stepped back into the light of day. The desolate highway lay before him, but this time, it felt different. The weight of the paranormal encounter had lifted, replaced by a newfound understanding of the thin veil between the seen and unseen. As he walked away from the mansion, John couldn't shake the feeling that, somewhere in the shadows, the spirits he had set free were watching over him with gratitude. The midnight journey, born of fear and mystery, had transformed into a tale of redemption, proving that sometimes the line between the living and the dead is not a barrier but a bridge. Months passed, and the memory of the paranormal events gradually faded from John's daily thoughts. Life returned to a semblance of normalcy, yet the supernatural encounter had left an indelible mark on his soul. The once tormented dreams began to subside, replaced by a sense of peace that eluded him for so long. However, just when John believed the chapter of the midnight journey had come to a close, a series of peculiar occurrences began to unfold. Objects shifted mysteriously in his apartment, and whispers of ancient incantations lingered in the air. It seemed the paranormal forces that once bound him to the mansion had not entirely released their grip. Haunted by the inexplicable events, John delved into ancient texts and sought the guidance of experts in the occult. The answers he uncovered were both intriguing and unsettling. By unraveling the connection between the living and the dead, John had inadvertently opened a doorway to the supernatural, one that couldn't easily be closed. Determined to find a resolution, John revisited the desolate highway, tracing his steps back to the mansion that had become a nexus between worlds. As he approached, the air thickened once again, and the mansion revealed itself in a spectral glow. This time, however, it exuded an aura of foreboding, as if the spirits he had set free were now bound by a new, unforeseen force. In the dimly lit room, the mirror reflected not his own image, but a distorted amalgamation of faces, each representing a spirit he had encountered. The whispers intensified, pleading for release from the unforeseen shackles that bound them. Realizing the gravity of the situation, John embraced the responsibility he unwittingly shouldered. The ancient rituals that once set the spirits free now needed to be reversed to correct the unintended consequences of his actions. Guided by the whispers and the remnants of his newfound knowledge, John embarked on a journey to restore the delicate balance between the living and the dead. The process was arduous, demanding sacrifices and an intimate understanding of the ethereal forces at play. As the rituals unfolded, the mansion groaned with the strain of supernatural energies being reshaped and realigned. Shadows danced in a chaotic symphony, and the air crackled with the tension of unseen forces in flux. In the final moments of the ritual, as the last incantation left John's lips, a blinding light enveloped the room. The spirits, once again manifested before him, expressed gratitude mixed with sorrow. The doorway to the supernatural, carefully opened and then inadvertently disrupted, was now sealed, restoring a fragile equilibrium. As dawn broke on the horizon, the mansion stood silent and still. John, physically and spiritually exhausted, emerged from the ordeal with a newfound wisdom. The paranormal journey that began in fear and uncertainty had evolved into a profound exploration of the interconnectedness of life and death. As he walked away from the mansion for the second time, the desolate highway felt different once more. This time, however, John carried not only the weight of the supernatural but also the wisdom that comes from confronting the unknown. The midnight journey, now a tale of redemption and restoration, had transformed him into a guardian of the delicate balance between the realms, a keeper of the secrets that linger in the shadows. Years passed since that fateful night, and John had become a guardian of the paranormal equilibrium. He dedicated his life to understanding the thin veil that separated the realms of the living and the dead, seeking to prevent others from stumbling into the same ethereal trap that had ensnared him. As a scholar of the supernatural, John traveled the world, delving into ancient texts and seeking out forgotten rituals. He became a beacon for those plagued by unexplainable phenomena, offering guidance and solace to those who found themselves at the crossroads of the seen and unseen. However, despite his efforts to maintain the balance, whispers of a new disturbance reached John's ears. A wave of paranormal activity seemed to be sweeping across the globe, leaving a trail of unexplained occurrences in its wake. Shadows grew longer, and the air crackled with an intensity that hinted at forces beyond comprehension. Guided by a sense of duty and a lingering connection to the supernatural, John embarked on a new journey. This time, He sought not just to correct disruptions but to uncover the source of the disturbance that threatened to unravel the delicate threads between worlds. His quest led him to ancient temples, forgotten crypts, and mystical landscapes where the boundaries of reality seemed to waver. Along the way, he encountered others who shared his calling, individuals with a deep connection to the supernatural and a shared commitment to preserving the balance. Together, this eclectic group of guardians faced challenges that tested their resolve and unearthed truths that transcended the limits of human understanding. They deciphered cryptic symbols, engaged in ancient rituals, and confronted entities that existed beyond the comprehension of mortal minds. As the group delved deeper into the heart of the paranormal disturbance, they uncovered a forgotten prophecy, one that foretold a convergence of worlds and the emergence of a force that sought to bridge the gap between the living and the dead for its own malevolent purposes. The final confrontation took place in a realm suspended between reality and the ethereal, where time seemed to fold upon itself. The forces they faced were ancient and formidable, yet the Guardians stood united, drawing upon the wisdom gleaned from their collective experiences. In a climactic moment, John invoked the lessons learned from his midnight journey, using the very rituals that had once bound him to the supernatural to reweave the fabric of reality. As he spoke the final incantation, a blinding light enveloped the group, and the paranormal disturbance began to recede. With the balance restored, the Guardians emerged from the otherworldly realm, their purpose fulfilled. The whispers of ancient incantations faded, replaced by a tranquil stillness that settled upon the world. As John looked around at his fellow Guardians, a sense of closure washed over him. The midnight journey that began with fear and uncertainty had evolved into a lifelong quest, transforming him from a mere witness to a custodian of the mystical forces that shaped the universe. With a newfound peace, John and the other Guardians returned to the ordinary world, carrying the weight of their experiences and the knowledge that the delicate balance between the living and the dead required eternal vigilance. The midnight journey, now etched in the annals of the supernatural, had become a timeless tale of courage, wisdom, and the enduring connection between realms unseen. In the aftermath of their triumph, the Guardians, led by John, formed a clandestine organization dedicated to preserving the balance between the realms. Their knowledge became a beacon of hope for those facing paranormal disturbances, and their efforts ensured that the lessons of the past were not forgotten. As the years passed, the world continued to evolve, and the Guardians remained vigilant, passing down their wisdom to a new generation. John, now grizzled with age but enriched with the depth of his experiences, took on the role of a mentor, guiding the next wave of Guardians in their mission to safeguard the delicate equilibrium. In a quiet moment of reflection, John stood before the mansion that had been the epicenter of his own paranormal journey. The desolate highway stretched before him, a testament to the endless cycles of life and death. The mansion, once a source of fear, had transformed into a symbol of resilience and redemption. As he gazed into the distance, a whisper of gratitude lingered in the air. The spirits he had encountered in that haunted place had found peace, and their ethereal voices seemed to echo through the winds, thanking John for his unwavering commitment to their release. In the twilight of his life, John continued to share the tale of his midnight journey, a story that had transcended the boundaries of time and space. The narrative became a beacon of inspiration for those drawn to the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of the ordinary, and so, with a sense of fulfillment and the knowledge that his legacy would endure, John passed into the realms beyond, leaving behind a world forever changed by his courage, wisdom, and the enduring connection between the seen and the unseen. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows on the desolate highway, the mansion stood as a silent witness to the ebb and flow of the supernatural. The Guardians, now inheritors of a timeless responsibility, carried the torch forward, ensuring that the midnight journey would be remembered as more than a tale. It would be a testament to the enduring triumph of light over darkness, of the living over the dead, and the eternal dance between worlds.